Hello beautiful people, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi and in today's video I am extremely tired because in a strange turn of events I'm recording this at night and I'm tired. I've had a long day. But that aside, today I am going to be talking about books that I want to buy, or as I have lovingly dubbed this in my planner, my to-be-bought list, which seemed a lot more endless before I actually sat down and thought about it to make this video. That being said, there's still quite a lot of books on here that will carry a hefty price tag when I buy them all eventually, when I get a third bookshelf in a while. This is also going to be a fun video to send to my relatives when they ask me what I want for Christmas. So Mom, if you're watching, here you go. The first book on this list is actually a set of books, and I've had these on my to-be-bought list since around this summer, I believe, because I kept seeing it at half-price books whenever I would go. Well, I kept seeing the second one, and I almost bought it. But then I realized it was the second one, and I couldn't find the first one anywhere, and I wasn't going to buy the second one without buying the first one. They both sounded really funny and interesting when I saw them at the store, and I would love to get my hands on these and give them a read. It's definitely more of a summer romance than a winter romance. However, I don't care. I'm not going to be buying them soon anyway. And that is Not Your Average Hot Guy, and then the sequel to that, A Date from Hell. These both sound super fun, and I would love to have them on my shelf. I would love to read them. They sound super cute and exciting, and I want them very badly. Next up, and on my to-be-bought list, probably much longer, but as a much lower priority, is the Crescent City series by Sarah J. Maas. Now these are not hard to find, and I most likely could have gotten them earlier if I had so chose. However, they were expensive when they came out in hardcover originally, and now I can't find the first one anywhere in hardcover, and I'm not going to buy the first one in paperback and the second one in hardcover because that's a sin, and it's wrong, and it's illegal, and I will not be doing that. So I will eventually order them off of Amazon when I have the money and the time to read them. They are hunka-chunka thickle boys, as Cassandra might say. And it's a commitment that I'm not sure I'm ready to make yet, so I will not be doing that for a little bit. However, if a relative would like to purchase them for me, I would not be against that. In the hardcover, please and thank you. Next up on my to-be-bought list is the Lord of the Rings series by J.R.R. Tolkien, and The Hobbit with that as well. I would love to read these books. I really enjoyed my time with the movies, and I really want to get my hands on these books. I've been looking for forever, but because they're classics, there's so many different editions, and as you can see, I'm a bit of a collector of books, so I really want a pretty edition. So I've been looking for the perfect one in a good price point for the edition, and I have my eye on one on Amazon that I might eventually save up for once I'm off my book buying ban. But for now, I will just keep dreaming about having them on my shelf because I do really want to give them a read. I think I would love my time with those books. Along that same sort of high fantasy vein is the Witcher series. I forget who this is by, but I did really enjoy the TV show, well, the first season of the TV show. I haven't seen the second season, and I've seen my father playing the video games, and it's super fun. It's definitely right up my alley, and I would love to give these books a read, so I want the Witcher series. However, another fantasy book that I do want, and this is just a standalone book, it is an incredibly thick book, a tome, one might say. However, it is still just a book, and that is Priory of the Orange Tree. I've heard so many good things about it, and I really want to read it. And I know it's a time commitment that I don't really have time for right now. However, I don't even own the book, so I can't read it. So it doesn't matter. I can dream, and I really want to read it. The Priory of the Orange Tree is definitely on my TBR. I've heard so many good things about it, and I want it very badly. That was a very passionate rant about Priory of the Orange Tree. I'm very excited about that book. I cannot wait to read that book. I know it's outdated on BookTube, but I don't care. I still want to read it. Another book that I would love to get my hands on, and this is actually a brand new development as of like yesterday. I didn't realize the book was out yet, so now that it's out, I know about it, and I want it very badly because I very much enjoyed my time in the first book, and that is The Atlas Paradox, which is of course the sequel to The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. I loved that book. I loved the artwork in that book especially. It was so good. And I need to know what happens next, actually, because the book ends on a cliffhanger, and I have not read a good solid cliffhanger since, like, the Percy Jackson books when they fell into Tartarus. And oh my god, I need the second book immediately. I didn't know it was out, and I found it at Target yesterday, and it took all of my self-restraint not to purchase it on the spot, but I don't have room for it on my shelf, but I want it so badly. That is the last of the books that I would like to purchase that I don't already have a prior purpose for, so to speak, because the rest of the books on my to-be-bought list are just completions of series that I already own. So I have somewhere over here, I have the Fallen Kingdom book, which I have the first one, and I know there's a lot of them, but I want the rest of them, if nothing else, because they look gorgeous, and I want them, and I feel like I'll enjoy them. It's fantasy. It's right up my alley. Like, it's not that hard to mess up fantasy. I say as I read them and they're terrible. I don't know. Yeah. I would love to have the rest of those books because I love big, long series and how they look next to one another. Like Throne of Glass over here. Gorgeous. My favorite. I wish that this one was black. I wish that it matched the others. But, you know, that's okay, because it happened over here, too, with Silver Flames, and we don't gotta talk about it. The other book that I want that is kind of similar is the follow-up to Sorcery of Thorns over here, which is behind my mushroom, so you cannot see it. I forget what it's called, and I don't know if it's a prequel or a sequel, but I would assume it's in the same universe since the cover looks almost identical. And I don't really care either way because I really loved Sorcery of Thorns, so I think I would enjoy anything that author writes. So when I remember what the title of the book is, I will put it on the screen here for you guys. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I remember that it exists and I want it. I would also love to get my hands on the rest of the Dreamer trilogy over here by Maggie Stiefvater. I had very mixed feelings about the first book. I did read it in my 24-hour readathon with my dear friend Cassandra, whom I've already mentioned once in this video. I will link that video up here and down there in the description for you guys to check out if you want to see an in-depth explanation on my thoughts on this. But basically, I thought it was kind of all over the place, and it wasn't like my favorite thing in the world, but I did end up like enjoying it overall, mostly because I love Ronan and I love Adam, and I want more content with them together. So I will be reading the rest of the trilogy eventually, but again, not super duper high on my priorities since I was kind of meh on the first book anyway, but I do want to get my hands on that and give it a... I suppose you could say that this is a new series that I don't already have, but I'm considering it a part since I have the Six of Crows series. I would love to get the Shadow and Bone series and give it a read. I have tried reading the first book and I got kind of bored with it. Like, it wasn't terrible and it wasn't like something that I DNF'd on purpose. I think I just like didn't have time to finish it and then I got really distracted and started reading other things. So I guess I kind of DNF'd it, but again, not on purpose. But I do want to get that series and give it a read in the original covers if possible. It would be wonderful, because the original covers are just so much prettier than the new covers. Not that the new covers are terrible, but mixed emotions. I also have two more that I would love to get the rest of, and that is down here. I have the, whatever this series is called, I don't know, but it's like the Cinder series. I forget the name of the series, but it's these books over here by Marissa Meyer. And I want the rest of this series. I want to give them a read. Nothing else. They look gorgeous, so I don't even mind if I don't like the books. But I do have the first, like, three. I do have the first three on my shelf already, so I might as well get the last couple. And over here, this Renegade series by, once again, Marissa Meyer. I think there's one more, maybe two more. I could be wrong, but I would like that, just so it's complete. I'm a completionist when it comes to book series, and I want to have the full series on my shelf. And I think that actually wraps up all of the book series and books that I would like to purchase. There's definitely many more books that I would love to have on my shelf, but these are the ones that I've been eyeballing for a long time now and that I really want and that I will be rushing to get as soon as I am off of my book buying ban, which I know is a self-imposed torture, but still. If you enjoyed this video, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Do you also want or own some of these books? And if you do, what are your thoughts? Without spoilers, please. And if not, what books do you want to buy? Let me know down in the comments, because I would love to expand this list, because eventually I will have an entire third bookshelf to fill. So, drop your suggestions or your TBB down in the comments. I thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did stick it all the way to the end, thank you so much. You should definitely subscribe, stick around. I post content twice a week and we have fun around here. I do have lots of exciting content up and coming. I have a couple of vlogs coming out next month that I am super duper excited for and that I think you guys will also really enjoy because you've really been loving the vlogs. So hopefully it will be a fun experience for both of us. You should definitely also like the video because it is easy, comment because it makes me smile, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys!